Hello and welcome to Behind the Brickfilm. Today we will be discussing Mission Probably Not. This is one of my personal favorite brick films that we've made, and although it hasn't gotten a large amount of views compared to some of our other videos, only 111, I think that it was probably my favorite one that we have posted.
Yeah, if you haven't watched that one already, make sure to go to our channel and watch Mission Probably Not.
This film was made in 2024 in August, and we had to buy a lot of pieces for this film that we didn't have to make the set, a lot more than any other film before.
So we found this website called webrick.com. They make very good quality fake Legos. So they have like almost all the pieces that Lego has, except for printed pieces.
Yeah, they don't do any printed pieces, but this is where we got all the white bricks for making the room that the knock list is inside of, and we've also ordered pieces for the set of the upcoming Lego Cthulhu brick film that we will be publishing later this year. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out the project on brickfilms.com for more information and sneak peeks on behind the scenes in real time while we're filming.
So back to Mission Probably Not. This was a parody of the heist scene from the original Mission Impossible movie. And we watched the original Mission Impossible movie twice because we really liked it. So we decided that when they announced the Summer Contest Part 2 would be a parody of a movie contest, we decided to do Mission Impossible.
Yeah, this was probably the earliest in the challenge that we've ever had decided that we're going to do it. We usually wait like a week before we decide if we're actually going to take it on. But we immediately thought of Mission Impossible, and we knew that we wanted to make that into a parody.
Yeah, I mean, in that scene, there's so many things that we could have made a parody, and we basically did most of what we could with making everything as funny as possible. But we did forget one of the characters, so we had to cut him out of the script, which was disappointing.
Yeah, but other than that, this was a very smooth production. Besides the very close filming quarters, it went pretty much as smoothly as possible. We didn't have any hiccups in the production, and editing was minimal, so we didn't have any problems with that.
Yeah, but the animation was the most difficult that we ever made because it was in such cramped quarters. I think it was like 10 studs across. It was a circle, so it was like 10 studs across at the widest. And on top of that, the main character was suspended by a rope that wasn't held in place. So animating with that was a lot of work.
Yeah, we ended up taking off parts of the wall for certain angles, and when we were doing the straight up view, we took a lot of the top of the wall off. Yeah, so when we were making this, we were still filming on our living room floor. We didn't have a studio yet. And I remember, I think this was when we really needed a studio the most.
Because we only took 2 weeks to make this. The contest was open for about a month. We only took 2 weeks of it, and we were filming every single night for an hour and a half between 9:00 and 10:30.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty big challenge, I think. And we also posted it last minute, like our other one. It was at almost 11 o'clock on the due date, on August 11th. So this was our second close call for posting a contest entry. But the great thing is we actually got third place.
Yeah, that was actually very surprising at first that we had gotten third place. And there was even other Mission Impossible parodies in the contest.
Yeah.
There was a guy that did a scene from Mission Impossible 2, and I think first place was a Matrix parody that is still my favorite brick film I've ever watched.
Yeah. So this was a very short project. Like we only took, like I said, we only took 2 weeks on it. So we didn't think it was going to be one of our like best films. And even now, half a year later, it's still our best project, I think.
Yeah, as far as animation goes, definitely. In storyline, almost definitely. But
And I mean, the comedy is like no contest. It's the most funny.
yeah, I think one thing we messed up on was we tried to make fun of as many things as we could in it. So we had like we had the dog jumping around instead of the rat, and then we had the guy farting because he was making grunting noises in the movie, and then we had him drop a bowling ball, and I think a lot of those, since there were so many good ones, none of them really stuck out. So
Yeah.
I feel like it would be more of a banger if we had only kept one of those three jokes.
But I do think that when he's taking the knock list out and he keeps pulling out random objects, I think that was one of the it was one of the funniest, but it was only really funny because it was a trope. Like it's been done so many times before when a character's trying to take something out and they keep getting random objects instead of the thing they want, in comedies especially.
Yeah, that I actually forgot about that scene, but I remember thinking, like, looking through our Legos, finding the most iconic bricks we could put in.
Yeah.
And so we ended up with like a teddy bear and a croissant and what else? So a bottle.
And weren't we originally going to make the guy in the shaft like eat a croissant because in the movie he's French?
Yeah, I think we were gonna have something about him being French.
But we decided not to because, like, about half of Brickfilms.com is French, and we didn't want anybody to take offense.
Yeah. Speaking of Brickfilms.com, we are now moderators, so if you have any questions about what happens on Brickfilms.com, make sure you can comment our video or send us an email at kai.bfarmer@gmail.com. That's his email, so he'll be getting the emails and probably telling me.
And definitely go check out Brickfilms.com. It is the best site for anything Lego Brickfilm related. It's amazing.
Yep, there's a friendly community, tons of things to discover. They have tons of members, so there's never no end of brick films. So you can watch and watch, and you'll never get bored because there's just such a wide variety. And I think my favorite feature on brickfilms.com is how easy it is to make your own and publish it. You just have to upload a file or put in a link to YouTube, and it'll upload the video, and it'll look just like it does on the file or YouTube. I think that's the best feature for a brick filmer on brickfilms.com.
Yeah, it's great. And even if you're not a brick filmer, if you just enjoy watching brick films, you can definitely still come and just basically hang out online, because there's always new community threads that are going on, and there's plenty of old style like thread games, like a 3-word per message game and ban the above user game. So it's definitely a great website to check out.
By the way, we are not sponsored by brickfilms.com, although that would be great if you're listening. Anyone who works there, if we could get a sponsorship, if you guys do those.
Thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe down below and leave a comment. Tell us what brick film that we made that you think we should do behind the brick films on next. Also, if you liked the video, please make sure to drop a like down below and stay tuned for future episodes.